I'm gonna just like kick it off right away and get started because I have plenty to get through to talk about with this program. So I'm gonna see if I can get my screen shared. We have, oh my gosh, when's the last time I've shared a screen, y'all? All right, can everyone see the presentation? Yes?
Yes.
Great. Okay.
Looks
All right,
lovely.
Thanks. Thanks, Allie. So we're so glad to have you all here. We're so excited to share with you some more information about this Master of Design at the School of Art. So everyone's introducing themselves in the chat. I'm just going to go ahead and just start with an overview of this program just to get it going. And I have some times here and there where we can take some time to answer some specific questions. So, just save your questions in the chat for those times if you can. Oh, it moves. It moves. All right, so the Master of Design program here at the University of Arkansas will prepare students for emerging roles in community-centered design processes that generate equitable and sustainable solutions for the future. So I know that is a lot to say in one sentence. So I'm going to explain a little bit more by what we mean by that. So the goal of this program is to prepare designers to build a better world through design. And that means design that strengthens our communities, the state of Arkansas, and beyond. So this program also considers emerging roles that designers can play in the field, specifically those that involve communities and participatory design processes that are equitable and sustainable. This is a program that is professional, research-led course of study primarily focused on citizen and consumer experiences through digital technology. So I'm just going to jump straight into the curriculum. So the MDes is a 2-year full-time 60-credit program, and our curricular model makes us competitive with other top graduate programs for design in the country. The curriculum is also approved by NASAD, the National Association of Schools of Art and Design. So basically, you will take 9 core classes, which are made up of 3 studios, 4 seminars, and thesis. And your thesis is made up of a thesis prep course and a final course taken your last semester, which is dedicated to working on your thesis. So 2 more studios. And then you'll also take at least 3 special topics courses with various content that'll change year to year. And then you'll lastly take 2 electives outside of design. We also offer a preparatory year. The preparatory year is for applicants that do not hold a bachelor's degree in design or similar field. So you would complete a full-time 1-year course of study that would then prepare you for advancement into the 2-year MDes program. So here's an example of the plan of work. You'll start off by taking a studio accompanied by at least 1 seminar. And studios are more, longer courses where you'll be working a little bit more closely with your faculty and your fellow students on more in-depth projects. And seminars are a little more lecture-based and more discussion. It'll involve reading and writing work probably. And we'll also be encouraging you to take a summer course. This is so that your load is lightened during your 2nd year, in which you'll be working on your thesis project. So we're really excited to share with you the overview of our curriculum. This is a one-of-a-kind degree that will prepare you for your professional practice and help you bring community-centered mindsets to leadership positions in any industry or sector. So I'm going to start by talking about this design and communities course. So this class addresses the nature of working with physical and virtual communities when it comes to framing, negotiating problems. Oops, is it going to let me go back? We'll watch the video again. when it comes to framing and negotiating problems, and all through design. So you'll investigate at scale at which designers can reasonably take action through physical, cultural, ecological, and socio-technical systems. And you'll also look into the difference between symptoms and root causes of problems. Oh, now it's gonna play, great. All right, designing technology. In this class, you're gonna explore the use of technology to mediate relationships, shape experiences, construct meaning through design. So in this course, you'll also critically examine the role that technology plays in everyday. In design and futures, you'll dig into the state of the design discipline itself and speculate about its future. Oops. Design, writing, and dissemination. This class is dedicated to the written communication and sharing of knowledge across various contexts. So you'll work on design writing for specific audiences and collaboration. So design, pedagogy, and leadership. This is a very special course to us. It's one of very few like it, we believe, in the country. And this course will discuss design-specific teaching and leadership strategies, which will prepare you to be culturally responsive and strategic leaders in the classroom or in practice. Design theory, past, present, and future. In this course, you'll discuss historical and contemporary theoretical frameworks and how you apply them to research and practice. Design research methods will provide you with methods and standards for conducting and communicating research findings at different stages of the design process. And then design thesis prep will be dedicated to preparing for your thesis through a written proposal and research findings. And then finally, design thesis is a time dedicated to completing your thesis project. So you'll work largely independently in this course under the advisement of a faculty member. So as I mentioned, you'll also take 3 special topics courses, and these will be determined by the faculty taking into consideration student feedback and demonstrated interest. So topics will be selected based on pressing issues in the field and opportunities for interdisciplinary teaching and content. And these are just a few examples only of what our current faculty has already discussed as being potential special topics courses. So not necessarily all of these will be offered, but these are the things we're dreaming about, we're really excited about, and we're planning for. As for electives, we've already worked at targeting a number of amazing electives that you might take across campus in a number of areas. So you'll see some of the departments that are represented here. So you'll work directly with me or another faculty member to identify what electives would support your research interests, whatever they may be. All right, so in just a little bit, I'm gonna stop sharing for a second, just if there's any questions about the curriculum. And then I will be talking about financial support and the application process in the future in a little bit. So, but if you have any questions about the curriculum, shout them out now if you want. All right, it was just my water break, I guess. Oh wait, you got a question? Please tell us.
Yeah. Hi. I wanted to ask about like if you could expand on what is design research methods? Because like currently in my undergrad, we're just really learning about like design thinking, and I want to know if there's like how would that seminar be like structured, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a great question. Well, it's definitely whatever you're doing in undergrad, taking it a step further and actually working with people in real communities and going through the official process of what research looks like and ethical research methods, running those real surveys and gathering that information and how you design around the information that you're learning about the people and audiences that you're working with. I'll give the other faculty a chance to answer that if anyone wants to. I don't want to be the only one talking all the time.
I'll quickly add to that because I'm the person who's starting to write that course right now. That course will also address different research paradigms and the ways that theory and culture influence the way research is done. So it expands way beyond just design. Look at things like feminist research and critical research and how those paradigms impact the way we do what we do when we're doing research.
Hi all, here Jose from Puerto Rico. I just want to ask, does the program assign a mentor to teach each student?
For teaching assistant, if you're a teaching assistant, yes. And I'll talk about that in a little bit too when we talk about the financial support. But yes, there's ample opportunities for mentorship, no matter what course of study or what you might be interested in doing with your graduate degree.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Was there any other questions? I felt like I saw another hand at some point, but like I'm squinting at these squares, so. No, all right.
I have a small question.
Sure.
So on a typical day, how much time would you spend in the studio versus a seminar? Would you say, like, what's kind of the ratio there?
Sure. Well, that is something we've talked about a lot. So a studio course is, sorry, I'm just laughing because this has been like a topic of discussion on what the difference is between a studio and a seminar. So a seminar is more like a once a week, I think it's planned. I don't have this exact schedule memorized right now, but it's about a once a week course, maybe like 1 to 2 hours, something like that. Whereas the studio is, the way I want to describe it is like going to work in a way, where you do spend dedicated time to that. And it would be, 2 or 3 times a week, multiple hours, probably like 3 to 4 hours, depending. We don't have the exact schedule fleshed out yet, so I don't want to like say exactly what that would be because I do not have it on the top of my head right now. Makes sense? Great. All right, I am going to share my screen again, which I don't know why I turn it on and off, but I have such a hard time turning it back on. The technology, y'all. All right. Okay, so I want to touch on financial support because that's probably the thing we're all most concerned about. So all students in the MDES program are fully supported, and we are able to provide full assistantships to all of our students, which include a full tuition waiver and awarded assistantships of $15,200 stipend annually. So students also will have opportunities to secure potential fellowships that will provide additional financial support, and there will also be the potential for some summer funding as well. And as we just talked about a little bit, students are awarded these assistantships, but your assistantship includes a 20-hour-a-week max work assignment under a faculty supervisor. So in some cases, this may be first-hand teaching in the classroom, either in our foundations program, which are first-year students in the School of Art, or within our undergraduate graphic design courses or program. You may also work as a faculty research assistant, work with visiting designers, tech support in one of our many different labs. We do have a 2D, 3D, and risograph lab. Or you might work with our design and communication team here in the School of Art. So these are just a couple examples of what a graduate assistantship might be. As far as teaching assistantships go, they are limited and will be selected based on performance and experience. So for those of you who are interested in going into teaching, we want to give you that firsthand experience. So you, as we talked about, you will have a faculty mentor and receive regular reviews and teaching evaluations on your progress in teaching. All right, So any questions about the financial support or assistantships? Oops.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Well, I kind of have a rough idea, but I want to ask, just, out frankly. I'm a full-time graphic designer, have been for some time, and I'm wanting to go back, of course, and extend, eventually teach. And I want to believe I would have enough financial support from what has been provided, and hopefully maybe burning some rubber and creating some other opportunities, as you said there are. But in the case that would you think it would be realistic for someone to be able to think they could do some freelance work on the side, something else part-time while doing these programs for 2 years, even something just the fact that if there was an issue with financial as a whole? So I'm transitioning from a career.
Right,
this,
absolutely. Well, I can definitely tell you that a lot of our faculty are in that same situation, or were in that same situation, where we transitioned from a career to graduate school when we did that. And I will say that, I think there's a possibility to supplement your income in ways such as freelance. I don't think that I would not advise full-time work.
That's what we're pushing at.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why we, provide that assistantship and that stipend. But I do think that there's space for you to supplement your income in other ways. And I think that's totally understandable and reasonable. And obviously just has to be something that you work out around your schedule, around course scheduling and your assistantship.
Appreciate
Does that
it.
answer?
Yeah, it did. I wanted to clarify because I know that some programs are extremely extensive, and in whatever grad work or other things that sometimes are asked may over and become that day. So I just wanted to make sure if it was even remotely fathomable for the program to say that you could also supplement if you needed to outside of what's provided. So
Right.
But I think you answered that, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Thanks. I think that's a great question. Am I missing anything? Any other questions?
Hi.
There's a question in the chat about the prep year. It says, is
sure.
funding available for the prep year, which I'm sure you'll be talking about shortly, but thought you could address that now.
No, actually, I was not going to talk about that, but the prep year is actually not, as of right now, not funded. It's something that we're working on figuring out what we can provide those students. But when you apply, we'll discuss if we think that the prep year would be better for you than going straight into the MDes. And in the case that the prep year would be better for you, we'll talk about different options for support. It'll be handled more on a case-by-case basis for now. Oh, Victoria, did you just end up typing your question in the chat?
I did, yes.
Okay. So, you're wrapping your mind around the finances. What costs can grad students expect? Well, so there are, I'm sure y'all familiar with the fees sometimes. And that's kind of something that you would want to expect to pay maybe out of pocket. For some students, those fellowships will be available to help cover some of those fees. But beyond the tuition waiver, you have to think about housing and just the means to live, right? And we hope that the stipend can assist with those things. I think Kayla said that can you put a link to that in the chat, Kayla? Sorry, everyone, Kayla's here too. She's one of our amazing staff members who knows all things about applying and funding and scholarships and things like that. So we'll work on getting that calculator into the chat, but as far as printing or things like that, like those the types of fees that we want to cover for y'all as a program, like materials fees and things like that. Obviously, you'd want to have your own computer, which we'd hope that you would cover yourself. But beyond that, I mean, it's just kind of a matter of what you need to live, I suppose. I don't know if that properly answers that question.
Yes, thank you.
Is funding available only for students entering the first year of the program? Funding is available both years of the program. No, there is not a separate application for financial support. I'll talk a little bit more about the application, but if you are accepted to the program, you receive the support. All right. And funding is available for everyone, or are there specific requirements? I will say, I mean, same answer. If you're accepted, you will receive funding.
Bree, can I add something really quick?
Sure.
I just wanted to add two things. One is, so all the funding that Bree's talking about is the funding available through the graphic design program in the School of Art. And she mentioned this on the slide in text, but I just wanted to verbally say it. It's not uncommon for the university through the graduate school to offer additional funding. So there might be project research grants, or the summer funding, the fellowships, and just it's kind of a year by year basis that the graduate school, which is for all the programs on campus, to offer unique funding opportunities. So there are some additional things there to help as costs come up for graduate students. And the School of Art also has an emergency student fund, and the university has that as well. Just aware that students sometimes get in situations where things come up and you're not able to have a full-time job. And so the university tries to support everybody as the best they can. The other thing I just wanted to point out about assistantships, this is just small, but I think it's cool. One of them that Bree listed was serving as an assistant in the advanced technologies lab. So we have a 2D lab, a 3D lab, and a Rezo lab. And part of the assistantship is that you're trained on all of that equipment to then teach other people. So you get to learn about all of that equipment as a part of that job. So that's all.
I'm going to back up and answer a couple of these questions. So yes, no matter what year you enter it, this full tuition waiver and the graduate assistantship is available. Like Marty said, these potential fellowships and potential summer funding is more like a year by year thing and what's available. But as far as the tuition and the assistantship goes, that's year to year. What kind of job do you anticipate the students applying to after going through the program? That is a great question, actually. But we can talk about that a little bit more at the end, because I just want to get through the application part. And then when we get to the fun stuff, I think that'll be a good time to talk about that. That works. All right, great. All right, so applying, this is all online, but I just wanted to share it with everyone just while you're here, so you know. There's 2 steps to the application process. You need to apply to the grad school. This is, I think, Kayla, if you could drop a link to our application page, that would be awesome. You need to apply to the grad school, which is separate then from applying to Slide Room. And through Slide Room, that's where you're going to submit the bulk of your materials. So you'll submit a statement of interest, and this is just a brief statement describing why you're interested in the MDes. You'll also submit an autobiographical statement, and that's a 1 to 2 page statement describing your education experiences, achievements, and goals for graduate study. You'll also submit an EDI statement, a 1-page statement addressing your perspective on equity, diversity, and inclusion. We're also asking you to upload your resume or CV and a professional portfolio. So 12 projects, they must be uploaded as digital images. I'm not going to dig deep into the specifics of those images. It's all in Slide Room. And then also a PDF of unofficial transcripts from all previous or college universities attended, and then 3 letters of recommendation. And then the deadline is March 15th. For anyone who's interested in applying for fall 23 or 24, I just want to say this deadline will change. It is March 15th this year, but in following years, it'll be earlier. It'll be January. Any questions about the application process? All right. So just a couple of the fun things I wanted to talk about. So I really cannot talk about this degree without mentioning our beautiful new building that is coming in the next year sometime, you know, the Windgate Studio and Design Center. So as a program, and these are the pictures of the beautiful building. These are kind of like lo-fi, which is embarrassing that, you know, we put these lo-fi images here, but that's all I could find for this today. But we are most excited about our design clinic, which will be right front and center of this building, where students will have the opportunity to facilitate and participate in activities that are part of the clinic. The purpose of the design clinic is to be a community space dedicated to outreach through design that supports advancing social justice causes, catering to the nonprofit and entrepreneurial community in Northwest Arkansas and the surrounding region. And I read that word for word because it's awesome and I'm so excited. So I just wanted to share about this because I think this is going to be a great opportunity for future MDes students. And then speaking about community collaborations, I just want to talk about Northwest Arkansas is home to several large multinational corporate headquarters. So there's also a very rich ecosystem of supporting design firms and agencies. I have some listed here. So the presence of these partners are going to provide very collaborative learning experiences and unique opportunities for any of you. Northwest Arkansas is also home to a growing number of startup companies that's supported by an entrepreneur and small business friendly community. So back to the question about what can you do with this degree? I mean, we have an amazing growing area that we're so excited about. So we think that there's tons of opportunities for people with this degree to really make a difference in this area and beyond, of course, but we would love if you, stuck around with us too. And then also this degree will prepare you to teach too. If you're interested in teaching at a college level, you'll also be prepared to do that. And then lastly, I do want to, well, actually not lastly, but I do want to plug Northwest Arkansas. I think any of the current students that are here and all of the faculty will agree that we have all fallen in love with our special little corner of Arkansas. This area just has a lot to offer. It's an extremely welcoming place. We have something for everyone. We have these beautiful nature scenes that you can go to. We have a super active downtown and square with restaurants and shops and this amazing farmers market. And we're also home to 2 world-class museums, the Momentary down here and Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art in Bentonville. And then lastly, I just want to introduce my amazing colleagues. You can see their faces here, along with everyone's research interests. And I think that's important to note because if these are things you're interested in, please come and learn and do these things with us. We would be so excited to have you. And some of them are here tonight, so I do want to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves if they want. I love that Ryan's photo is also Ryan's photo on the screen. It's awesome. It's like deja vu.
Bria, I don't wanted to get lost in the chat. There was a great question about does the program have remote options or is it expected to be on campus?
Because we are offering these graduate assistantships, the program does need to be on campus, full-time on campus, and that's because of the graduate assistantship. Which is hard to believe in this world of Zoom now, right? Can you believe it? Right. Hello. Would any faculty like to introduce themselves?
Hi. I already spoke, but I'm Marty Maxwell Lane. I am an associate professor in the graphic design program. Very excited about this graduate degree. We've been working on it a really long time, years and years. I'm also the director of the School of Art, so I oversee all of the programs in the school. Yeah, that's me. I don't know how long you want us to talk about ourselves, but I'll keep it short.
I'll stop sharing so it's like not this awkward screen of faces.
Looking at myself, yeah.
Yeah, I know. So funny. But I do think I love when I was making that slide the other day, I'm like, oh my gosh, look at all these people, these amazing people that I get to work with every day and like all their amazing interests. And we just like run the gamut. It's crazy. So yeah, we're really excited to have any of y'all come and join us. It's going to be great.
I think when you put all the research interests together, it's just like, what? There's so much happening. And I think that is, of course, I'm biased, but I think that's one of the most amazing things that we have to offer is that the faculty here are extremely active and extremely motivated in their research. So you get to be a part of that program too. So hi, I'm Allie Place. I am an assistant professor of graphic design, but I'm also the program director of graphic design. And I'm really excited to see you all here. And I'm just so excited about this new program.
Who else is here? Dina, introduce yourself.
Yes. Hi, I'm Dina. I'm an endowed assistant professor in the graphic design program. One thing I actually wanted to say is that I recently moved here and it's been feeling home and warm and kind, and I love the community here. So I guess if you're moving from another city or another state or another country, you're in good hands, and I hope this is a good statement for it.
I will,
Yeah,
sorry,
go
Bree.
ahead, Ryan. No, go ahead, Ryan.
I'm going to keep my camera off because I'm in a parking lot in my car. So I think my photo is a little bit better than what you might see. But I just want to echo all the thoughts and say how privileged we are to have this group of people leading this program. I mean, we have such a diverse group of faculty and research focuses. I basically did a graduate program about a year ago and finished. And I wish a program like this was available to me because I really feel like I can identify with a lot of you and what you're thinking. I pursued a graduate degree after I had been working in the field for a while because I found a passion in teaching. And so I just wanted to let you know that I'm available to talk to you if you have questions about that, because I feel like I was in your shoes just a couple of years ago. But you will not be making the wrong decision if you come to join us. It's a great community and we would be happy to have you.
I'll go next.
Oh yeah, I'm like, I thought Diana was here.
Hi, everyone. My name is Diana Nettich. I'm a visiting assistant professor of graphic design here in the program. I am just going to echo everything that everyone is saying, especially what Dina was saying. She's new, but I was also new not too long ago. I've only been teaching here for about 3 years. And it's a wonderful place, wonderful community. And I personally love it and I highly recommend it. So I hope that you all are interested and I hope to see you all.
Sorry, I had to take my headphones out because they were dying. So I don't know if I can hear everyone or no one's talking. Oh yeah, great question, Sam. Thanks for answering that, Marty. Is there any other questions?
I just wanted to clarify what I wrote about the MDes for Sam. Not all MDes programs are comparable to an MFA and MGD. If you're looking at other programs, you want to make sure that it's the 60 credit hour terminal degree, because there are some MDes programs that are more comparable to like an MA, which in design is not, does not meet the standards for a tenure position. So don't want to lead you astray.
Yeah, so I'm currently kind of battling between doing a PhD in art history or an MDes in design. And I'm weighing the options. The ultimate goal, I'd love to write a textbook. So that's kind of like in my line of vision. So I don't know. I've got questions. So I'm kind of sucking this all in.
Do you also want to design the textbook? No, I'm just kidding.
Of course. And that's so yeah, I know that Marty, you wrote a textbook with a colleague, and so I was kind of thinking about that. So yeah.
I did. And I have an MGD, which is a Master's of Graphic Design, which is a 60 credit hour design terminal degree. Is Alberto still here? Yes, Alberto and I were in graduate school together. So yes, this degree would prepare you to do that. I think, Bree said we're really excited about the pedagogy and leadership class, and that'll talk a little bit about sort of the life of academia and all the different things that you can do. And then we also specifically have the design writing and dissemination class, which I think would align well with those sorts of pursuits. So
I would say that those are things that you won't find in almost any graduate design programs, which is an emphasis on writing. And well, you may or may not find faculty who have written books, but you'll be in good company here with people like Marty. My work is very focused on writing. So I think that is something that's unique about our program, is that we view writing as an extremely important part of design. So that's not an emphasis you'll see in many other design programs. You'll surely see it in a PhD program, but that's a whole different animal than a creative degree like an MDes. So yeah, in some ways those are like apples and oranges, but in some ways, I think you'll get a great deal of experience and guidance when it comes to writing here.
Any other questions?
I have a quick question. You kind of said this earlier, but I just wanted a little bit of clarification. The prep year, you said that it was for people who didn't have a degree in design or related field. So is that like a case-by-case basis? You apply and then you kind of get evaluated kind of what your experience is in design, that kind of thing?
Yes. It is considered by a case-by-case basis. If you have more questions specifically about your background and want to talk about it, you can reach out to me. We can set up a meeting. We have a specific kind of like a criteria we're considering when we look at applications and who's better suited for a prep year or not. And it really just depends on your background and your specific experience.
Okay, I will reach out. So I won't, take all the time here.
That's
so,
perfect.
Thanks. Awesome.
Definitely. Any other questions? Yeah, I was just, Allie, I'm so glad you said that. Yes, we have a lot of our faculty are parents of young children. So yeah, we're here for that. Anything else? Well, this has been recorded. We'll distribute the video will probably be sent out to you. I'm gonna PDF the slides. I'm gonna make some of it linkable too, so you can just like easy breezy click in and stuff. So that'll get distributed as well. But yeah, if you have any questions, I'm going to put my email again in the chat. If you don't already have it, you can email me for any questions. I'd love to set up a meeting, Zoom. That works if you're local and we, slap on an N95. Maybe we can grab a coffee, whatever you need to do. We'll figure it out. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Feel free to stick around if you have any extra questions. We're so excited about our future here in our special little corner of Arkansas, and we hope that you'll maybe join us. Bye.
Bye, y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.
I had one more question. Sorry if I missed this, but what is your cohort size?
Oh, that's a great question. You know what? I don't even know why I didn't even address that. We're shooting for 6 per cohort. And then, so that would be, 6 in the first year, 6 in the second year, so 12 total at all time. When the prep year, if anyone is accepted to the prep year, that'll kind of like offset things. But I'm a designer, not a mathematician, so I can't fully explain how that looks, but it would change depending on that.
What was that? If you don't mind me asking, what's a cohort? Is that what she said? I'm sorry.
No, that's a great question. So your class, your graduating class, basically. So the class that enters in fall of 2020, oh my God, 22. Wow. The class that enters fall of 22 would be one cohort, and then the class that enters fall of 23 would be another cohort.
Thank you for refreshing my memory. I lost that term.
I don't think I knew that word until I went to grad school either, so that's fine.
I think one thing that's also nice about the curriculum is that there are some vertical studios, meaning sometimes you'll take classes with both cohorts together, which will make for really nice collaborations. And sometimes you'll have classes with just your own cohort. So people will be mixed throughout the program.
And our special topics are cross-listed with undergraduates too. So you might have some undergraduate students in your classes, and I gotta say our undergraduates, I mean, they're not here anymore, but they're awesome. So some of them I wish they were here to hear me say that, but.
One more question. This is, just vague thinking, but I think in the special areas, you had something like y'all had charted out a few interest areas that y'all had already mentioned and the possibility of more. Do you think there would be a point where if it was not one of topic that a student could maybe do enough research to recommend a course they would want to adventure as their extracurriculars or their extra their outside studies, as you would recommend it or something? You understand what I'm saying? My question may have been jumbled. The courses we were taking are extra studies. If there was one that y'all weren't already recommended, could we ask for special requests? Is what I'm saying. Yeah. If there was a topic study we were really wanting to stretch or mix into.
I think I caught everything, and I believe the answer is yes. You're just asking if there's a specific elective that you think would fit into what you're interested in. If you're not sure, we can also make recommendations.
Correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I also think that if I heard you correctly, I think what you're describing would be a good fit for an independent study, which is something that you could also pursue with a faculty mentor to dive deep into some research about something that maybe doesn't exist in a course or in a special topics class that we have at the moment.
That is exactly what I was asking. Thank you, both of you.
All right. Any other questions? Is it round 2 of goodbye?
Thank you all for being here.
Yeah, this wrapped up quicker than I thought.